John?
Hi folks. Not sure if you can all hear me, so feel free to step forward. Given the threat of rain, we were a little concerned with having a microphone and speakers out here. But I'll do my best so that you can all hear me. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Stephen Kokoris. I'm the Regional Director with the New York State DOT, Region 7 Watertown office. Thank you all for attending. This is a tremendous turnout. It's really great to see all of you here for this important ceremony. Before I proceed, I'd like to acknowledge many of the esteemed guests that we have here today. Unfortunately, I'm sure I will miss someone, but I'll do my best to catch everyone that's here. First of all, Assemblywoman Addie Jenny is here. Representing Senator Joseph Griffith's office, Dick Ashlaw. Village of Massena Mayor, Timmy J. Currier. Village of Massena Trustees, Francis Carvel. And Herb Deshays. Massena Town Supervisor, Steve O'Shaughnessy. Massena Town Councilman, Sam Carbone. And Tom Miller. NYPA Trustee, Judge Eugene McAndry. And again, if I missed anyone, I apologize. Just to give you a quick order of the events here, I'll do an opening introduction. I'll be followed by Mayor Currier, who will be followed by Assemblywoman Jenny, and then to close out the speaking portion of the ceremony will be Chief of Staff Todd Westheis from the New York State DOT. Then we'll have a ribbon cutting ceremony. So as I mentioned, it's a privilege to be here today. Thankfully, the weather is cooperating with us. This project, like many other across the North Country and countless more across the state, show the Governor's commitment to improving New York State's infrastructure that works to support our communities. From a distance, it's easy to say that the New York State DOT just replaced another deficient bridge, but we all know that doesn't tell the whole story. Obviously, we're responsible for maintaining the state's highway and bridge system, but what we all know is that bridges are more than just conduits for moving vehicles, goods, and traffic. They connect communities. Whether it's pedestrians and bicyclists crossing the bridge for exercise, or people traveling to work in their vehicles, or visiting a friend in the community or local business. These bridges are vital to local villages and economies. And it's going to be a vital link for years to come for the village of Massena and the North Country. Lastly, before I move on with the presentation, I do want to acknowledge and thank from the CCI companies, Doug Fusillo and Marcus Mosier. From Tioga Construction, John Dillon and Ron Olmsted. And from the New York State DOT, Todd Townsend, who was the engineer in charge, and all of their staff. They did a great job. With that, I would like to turn this over to Mayor Currier.
Thanks, Stephen. Good afternoon, everyone. It's really a privilege to be joining you all today, really on a day where our history meets our future. A modern bridge, a modern turnabout over this historic river, the Great Grass River. As most of you know, the Grass River defines our northeastern edge of our downtown district, what we like to call our core of the community. And our core is getting stronger every single day. Here in Massena, our primary focus of ours is to embrace our past as we reshape our future. The Grass River is arguably one of the most historic pieces of our past. So I'd ask you to think about Massena's past just briefly. In 1798, when Amos Lay began surveying our community, he did so because of the Racket River and the Grass River. That's what drew people to Massena. When Calvin Hubbard and Stephen Reed built the first dam and first sawmill, they did so on the Grass River. You can see the location from here. The village of Massena was developed because of the historic and great Grass River. They envisioned the greatness of it and the future that could be built as a result of the Grass River. The first schoolhouse was built in Massena in 1803. That was the first time that a bridge was built over the Grass River. So much of the history of this community is tied directly to the Grass River. I can't help but sit here and think of how many millions of people have crossed this bridge. Alcoa's going to Massena and the North Country's biggest employer every single day, that crossed the previous bridge and will cross this one every single day. Behind you is probably the neighborhood with the greatest heritage that we have, particularly in the area of diversity. I can't imagine how many Armenians have crossed the previous bridge. Italians, French, Irish, Germans, Scottish, on and on, that have crossed this particular river in this location. This bridge stood here before, and now it's connecting Massena's rich tradition and heritage to our future. I want to thank Chief of Staff Todd Westice for being here. Appreciate you coming to Massena today to do this and to be joining us. I also want to thank my good friend Addie Jenny for being here. She's been a great friend over the years, continues to be, supports Massena very well. One of her favorites thing is, what do you need? What can I help you with? And I usually tell her it's a check, but oftentimes she'll bring one, so I didn't see one today though. I also want to thank,
you get a new bridge.
that's fair enough. $13 million bridge. I also want to thank Governor Cuomo for his efforts to rebuild New York. No governor has invested in Massena or the North Country like Andrew Cuomo has. Incredible investments that he's making in the North Country. Previous governors invested in the state. This governor invested in the North Country like no other, and we appreciate that. Friends, so we're embracing our past and reshaping our future. That's just not a slogan for us, it's a strategy, it's what we're doing, and we want to always remember our heritage and the great things of our past as we build an incredible future for this community. A connection to our future, there are two people here that kind of represent that, and I'm giving up my seat in the Camaro today for these two youth to cross this bridge today. So we have our two youths of the year from the incredible Boys and Girls Club that we have here in Massena. So our K through 4 representative is Lily Green. There she is. Very solid. She's here with her mom. And our 5 through 12 youth of the year is Janessa Lee Montgomery in the You know your community is bright, but when you talk to young kids like that, you really truly understand that how bright our future is here in Massena. So friends, Massena's moving forward together with our partners at every single level. We are reshaping our future. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you, Mayor. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the mayor and the community here, the Village of Massena, for your patience for the last 2 years as we've reconstructed this bridge. Your cooperation has been just incredible. We appreciate it. And sooner than you will know, you'll be driving across this bridge. With that, Mayor Currier mentioned that Assemblywoman Jenny has been very supportive. She's been very supportive of DOT as well. So it's my pleasure to introduce Assemblywoman Jenny.
I tried to drive over it on my way here, but they had it all blocked off so that we could have shelter, I believe. So, so a couple more minutes wait, I guess it's worth it for our safety and for being dry. But I represent the River District, and we call it the River District because it has a lot of rivers, not just the St. Lawrence River, but a lot of other tributaries. And so you can imagine that we have a lot of bridges in the River District as well. And so it's an enormous undertaking to try to keep up with all of the maintenance and the replacements that we need. But we have been fortunate in the North Country, as Mayor Currier has said, to get the attention of the governor and of DOT to make sure that they're up here taking care of our infrastructure. Our infrastructure is what our entire community is based on. Our ability to keep jobs and retain jobs is based on the ability to get things in and out of here, and we bring big things in and out of here. And so it is really is top of the list in terms of how our community can move forward and continue to transition in an economy that is ever changing and requires us to be really nimble and to oftentimes go back to our roots, as the mayor said. I was happy to hear him kind of talk about warm and squishy things and not necessarily iron and concrete, because for me this is an emotional project. As much as it is a $13 million bridge that was completely replaced, this to me is emotional. The bridge really fell into a state of disrepair at a very difficult time in this community, and the rebuilding and building it back strong for many, many, many years to come is really, I think, dovetails perfectly with what this community has gone through and what this community is doing as well. So it is, albeit I think we would have liked the bridge to have never had to be out of service, but it's really coming back on and providing momentum in this community. So, I'm very, delighted to be here to be part of this today. It also allows for us to kind of reconnect with the river. When you only have a couple of crossings, you don't really, get to realize the beauty that we have and really feel like it's part of our community. So, being able to walk across this bridge and look at the beautiful river, it really does, I think, round out the whole Massena experience. And frankly, it's calming. Who doesn't want to be at the river, especially on a beautiful day like this? So, it ticks a lot of boxes. It's the lifeblood of our community in terms of getting materials in and out of here and commerce. But it is connecting the two sides of this village, back to where it was, making us whole again, and also allowing us to access our beautiful nature, which is why so many of us live here. So my thanks also to the governor for understanding the unique need of the River District and the number of bridges. I hope you keep coming back up. And I have a message from some friends that hang out around the corner, and we hope maybe the governor will come up and make some more announcements for us in terms of moving the economy forward in the North Country. So we certainly have built a strong relationship. And I would be remiss if I didn't point out that the crew that is building these bridges, well, in charge of them, the engineering, he's out here somewhere. Yeah. This is not his first bridge that he has done in the last couple of years in this district, and him and the entire team at DOT have, I think, come in on budget and early for the bridges that they have been doing. And I just want to give them a salute in front of you, sir, that we have a fantastic outfit up here, and I couldn't be more proud of our DOT folks in this region. So thank you for
Thank you, Assemblywoman Jenny. I have no better introduction than what the Assemblywoman just said in introducing our next speaker, Chief of Staff, Todd Westheis.
Thank you, everyone. Again, I'm Todd Westheis, the Chief of Staff in New York State DOT, and it's an absolute pleasure to be joining you, the community, today to really kick off the opening of this bridge. We're here to cut the ribbon on a $13 million bridge, and it's not just the bridge, it's also the roundabout behind you. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the benefits there. A lot of thanks already. Again, I want to thank all the partners here in the local community. We could not have done this without your buy-in, your support. I want to thank our DOT team here, our contractor, CCI Companies of Canastota, delivering this bridge on time, on budget. This is what we've come to expect at DOT, what the taxpayers expect. I also like to thank Governor Cuomo. His commitment to infrastructure in New York State, it's been said already, is unparalleled. His focus on the North Country, its people, its economy. We are one state, one DOT, one team working together. This bridge is an important part of the governor's $100 billion infrastructure program. It's helping to rebuild New York State one community at a time. He also recently announced a new $150 billion infrastructure program that's going to be implemented over the next 5 years. It's going to generate 675,000 new jobs for the people in New York State, and that includes every region, the North Country in particular. So we're very happy to start you know better than I do, this region's known for its unbelievable beauty, outdoor adventures, sometimes harsh winters. You may not think so, it's probably okay. You're all tougher stock. And also it's great people. I mean, you guys are the ones that make the region what it is. For us, you know, we appreciate that. You're a group that sticks together, looks out for each other, and DOT is part of that and wants to be part of that. At the Department of Transportation, we have a presence in every community across the state. We look out for you, the residents, to the best of our ability. The people that work at DOT are your neighbors, your relatives, your friends. We're part of the community too, so we take equal pride in delivering this kind of project to you as you do in receiving it. We maintain safe roadways in all weather. We've got a residency close by here in Potsdam, and we work with elected officials across the region to deliver projects like this, including some are with us today. The goal here, advance economic development, enhance safety, and improve the quality of life for the residents. That is part and parcel to every single project that DOT works on these days. This project accomplishes all three goals. Strong, durable infrastructure is the lifeblood of economic development. Without that, you're not going to have a solid economy. So we need to make sure at DOT we're delivering that for you. That's what we're doing with this $13 million bridge. And I want to know if this is made with American steel. Okay, I think this is helping to enhance commerce on either side of the bridge, and I'd be remiss in not noting at the request of the owner of the Rapids right down the road here. She wants to make sure that everybody knows, you know, this is part of her plan, her business plan going forward to have her bridge back, so please eat at the Rapids after this. I did before, and at lunch it was excellent. It's got my seal of approval. Infrastructure projects from DOT, again, our mission is safety. All right, that's what we're charged to deliver, to keep anyone using our facilities safe, make sure that they've got a pleasant experience while they're using our infrastructure. This is no different. The new roundabout behind you, which I'll note is an excellent gateway to this community. The community had some say in what this looks like. This has been constructed as part of the project to enhance safety, and with a roundabout, what it does, it also reduces the severity of crashes. At any kind of intersection like this, you're going to have crashes, you know, things like that happen. But here, it reduces the severity based on the geometry of that. So overall, not only is it a new bridge, it's a much safer environment to be using. And it helps traffic move more efficiently, improves mobility, and enhances air quality, because you always have that throughput. Things are always moving. Lastly, our projects always try to include some kind of aspect that enhances the quality of life of the community. When we're done, we want to make sure that we're leaving it a better place than when we found it, and that's always part of any project plan. Here, we've got the new pedestrian walkways, the green space underneath. Parking area for fishermen and nature enthusiasts. You can see on either side. I encourage you all to take a walk around after this. Simply put, furthering economic development, enhancing safety of all users, and improving the quality of life is the foundation, again, of everything we do at DOT for the communities such as yours. It's a worthwhile project of an important North Country community. Back to your request, we're listening. I get that. And well worth our time and effort and investment, and that's the investment made by the taxpayers. Okay, we're out here to protect your investment. I'm very happy that I made the trip up here to be part of this and see the finished product firsthand. And on behalf of Commissioner Paul Karras and Governor Cuomo and the entire DOT team here and not here, thanks again for having us part of this day and part of this project. Thank you very much. Now for the moment everyone's been waiting for.
Thank you, thank you. So that concludes the speaking portion of the ceremony. What we're going to do next is have a ribbon cutting ceremony, take a few photos, and then we've got a small procession to go across with some esteemed guests that were introduced earlier. So again, thank you all for attending. We'll be cutting the ribbon.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
You guys gonna ride?
All right, we'll be slide across the
We'll ride, of course, with our special guest in a, of course, union-made Chevy Camaro. Have at it, Bernie. Yeah.
Okay, Bernie. Start your engines. Not a pace car.
Walk down and back if you want to join us.
Hey. Come on, Landon. Get over here.
Yeah, I guess I should tell a selfie. The new bridge. I walked across this before anyone.